Hey, hello everyone. So yeah, today I'm going to let me share my screen first. So yeah, yesterday we saw about workflow rules. So did anyone try the requirement which I gave yesterday? You can type your answers on the chat box. So I believe you guys would have tried that, but if not, yeah, you can try it over the weekend. Okay. Yeah. So yesterday we saw about workflow rules, pretty much like how to create a workflow rule. So this is the path, setup, create workflow rules, and there you will create a new rule. And under that new rule, you'll create which object you will be selecting. And after that, you will select like the criteria for which the workflow rule should work. So for that, if any record has that record criteria, then the particular workflow rule will fire, which means that it should do some action, right? So for that action, we have four things that we can do. One is email alert. The second one is field update. You can update any uh, field from that object, or you can send any email. And also, you'll be able to do the outbound message, right? You'll be able to send it to external third-party tool. Okay. So that those are all the things that you could do using workflow rule. Okay. So before I go to process builder, let me go to validation rule. Okay. So I have logged in into the page. Just a minute, guys. Yeah. So we have this object manager. Okay. This is the place where you have all the objects listed along with its API name, which is the unique name as I tell you, right? So here you'll you'll be able to see which type of object it is. If it is standard object, means that the Salesforce has by default provided that object to you. But all if it is like custom object here, means that you have created, right? So in any object, if you go, you'll be able to find this place. Okay. So here pretty much you'll be finding validation. Okay. So you need to click on that, and on account as of now, these are all the things that is set. Okay. So this is the account validation rule that is already set. Now let me create a new validation rule. Okay. So I have the accounts. Okay. So let me have some condition. Okay. Before that, I should go to the record. Okay. So this is the detail page. So in detail page, I want something like if at all if industry value is agriculture, I wanted description to be filled. Okay. So let's see. So you have for validation rule, you'll be having it in formula field. Okay. So I guess so. So let's not have it in pick list field because we need to use one function called text or pick list is pick val. Okay, so these are all, these two things you should be using in order to use a pick list field in a formula box. Okay, so you directly can't use it because I can show you. If I wanted to choose industry, I'm selecting industry. Okay, which means that this is a pick list field, and I can't have something like agriculture. Okay, so yeah. So I'm gonna have something like uh yeah, description. Okay, let me go to the field. Okay, so here you need the API name. Okay, you can't just type like this. Okay, for industry itself, you wanted API name. So let me type that and confirm. Only then Salesforce will be able to understand. Okay, so okay, industry, this is the same name, and for description, okay, this also is the same thing. Okay, so this is the thing that you need to use and not the label. Okay, in order to use it in a formula field or even in coding. Okay, or description. So you get you get something like this. Okay, so field industry is a pick list field. So what you have to do, you just have to copy this and paste this in validation tools. Okay, so you got something like this. Okay, so you have different blogs from Salesforce itself that provide you the uh, this one. Okay, so you can use any of this is pickval, or you can also use text. Okay, so here they haven't given, but yeah, so you can have something like this pickval. So I'm just gonna place this. Okay, so if yeah, so this pickval will be industry here, and the value is going to be agriculture. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this off. So let me check. Incorrect number. Yeah. So or we can have if is blank, right? Okay, let me take this blank. This blank function. Okay, so this is just use of this different function that that Salesforce gives you. Like you have different functions, year function, weekday. So which means that out of, for example, if you wanted the year from this date, okay, created by date, you can simply have like date of, like what's that thing? Yeah. So you can simply have like, year of, so you can just have some date field here, okay, which will fetch you the year of date that is there. Okay, so all weekday or the upper value or lower value, and today time now. Okay, so these are all some things that you pretty much have within Salesforce, and you will be able to do. Okay, if at all if it is number, it will return true, otherwise false, or is pick val, as I already told you, right? Uh, just now I showed you. So is blank. If at all if the value is changed, okay, you can also have that function for that. Okay, if at all you can have like is changed and any field name into it. Okay, so any field name, when I say any field name, so if you wanted to know like in account record, you wanted to know if at all if anybody changes their email ID. Okay, so here you can have something like is change function and have that email API name, the field name, okay, name inside this, so that it will fetch you the result. If at all if it is changed, it is going to fetch it's true, otherwise it's going to fetch as false. So it means that it will simply be helpful in your business criteria. Okay, so they will have like different criteria. For example, if at all if the same criteria which I told you. Okay, so they wanted if at all if any email ID is changed. So if at all if any email ID is changed, they wanted to click some or have some field to become true. Okay, so what happens is it will automatically detect and fetch you that error message saying that please fill so and so rule. So validation rule is importantly executed only before the record is saved. Okay, so you can't clear a error. Okay, so I think I have something like number of tons sold, or I'm not sure. Okay, so I have some particular validation rule already set up. So if at all if I don't fill number of tons sold, it didn't let me create a record, right? So I'll not even able to, you know, enter, I mean, like save this particular record into database. Okay. Only if you clear that validation rule error, you will be able to save the thing. Okay. So that's why this validation rule they have found it out. Okay. The Salesforce guys. So if at all, if you don't want your end user to fill a record without inputting any details, right? Like if at all, if any address or email or phone number, you shouldn't actually fill that. So for example, in some websites, right, like for login purpose, you definitely have to fill email address, right? Like email address or password. Or if at all, if you wanted to set the password, they will have something like if you set it by yourself, before you save your new password, they'll give you some message like, please set your password with one alphabetical or one special character, one number. So they'll be providing you that error message, right? So that's called as validation rule. Okay, the similar thing we have it in Salesforce. So without setting your password and the method that they say, you will not be able to save your new user account or any changes, right? So similar thing is called validation. Okay. So here you have, okay, let me clear this. Okay. So is blank, if at all, if industry is going to be, or, if at all, if uh, you can have some field. Okay. Say if at all, if account type is blank. Okay. Or account type is not account type. Let's have some other field. Yeah, if at all if price is blank. Okay, let's have price. So I'm gonna search with price. Okay, so this is how you'll be having. Okay, so if at all if the price is blank, if at all if the price is blank, then you're having some error message saying that please fill the description. Okay, so this is the error message place where you will place. Okay, so uh, input the description info. Okay. So this is the error message that you will get if at all, if the price field is blank. Okay. So if at all, if the price field is blank, you will get this message displayed before you save the record. Okay. So this is called as error location, where you will be able to display where you wanted to display this particular error message. Okay. So if at all, if you wanted to display top of the page, which means that it will be displayed here. Okay. You can have this option selected. If at all, if you wanted to display on the field. Okay. So I wanted to display on description field, above the description field. So logically it will be that way. Okay. So here you will be able to select description. Okay. So daily. Okay. You have description. So if at all, if you don't want it to fill it on the under description, you don't want this message to be displayed on the description. You wanted it to be displayed on account type. Okay. So you can also have that as well. So it's up to you. You can select any field you want, but logically your the field where you wanted to fill the details. Okay, that's where the message will be displayed. Okay. So I'm selecting this option and clicking on save. Okay. And now I see that this account validation rule has been created and it's on active, which means that the account validation rule is currently in play. Okay. So now I'm going to edit a record and fill save. Okay. Now I got a snag, which means which says like input the description info. So if I don't fill this value, I'm definitely not going to save a record. Okay. So even if I okay. So yeah, whatever I do, I'll not be able to save the record without inputting here. So if I input here, then also I'll be having this error message. Okay, so which means that input the description info, and also you need to fill something like business. Okay, only then you'll be able to fill fill this. I mean, sorry, yeah, sorry, it's not on account type, it's on price. Okay, so you need to fill a price and description to save this record. Okay, if at all, if you you know, without filling the price, okay, you will not be able to save this record. Okay, so or if you fill the price, you don't need to put the description. Okay, so that way also it will work, but the criteria which I provided is, if at all, if the price is blank, whatever it is, if it is the price is blank, you need to fill it. So or we can simply say change the error message. Okay, if at all, if the price is blank, input price and okay, let's have like this, input the price and description. Okay, so I can also have another information. Okay, price and okay, let me have price. So price, yeah. So I have this thing, and again I'm going to place the same thing here. Okay, sorry, I need to have description, not price. I already have thing, but yeah, description. So I'm going to insert this one and have the same thing here. Okay, it's blank, and yeah. So yeah, I have this thing. Okay, which says like, if at all, if you know, yeah, and okay, so let me have this in brackets so that I will not. So this brackets are all important. Okay, which says like, so if at all, if you want it, if you're not able to do it, you can go to new notepad plus plus. Okay, so where you will find like this bracket belongs to this bracket belongs to this. Okay, and this belongs to this, and this belongs to this. Okay, and overall you need to have one, two, right? So yeah. So okay, sorry. So here, okay. So we chase that the last two, it should be this way, okay. So the first, everything must be closed. That's the rule. Otherwise, you will not be able to save that particular thing. Okay. So inside price, you have one thing, and again here for each blank, you have separately one thing. Okay. So I'm just gonna place it here and then click on check syntax, and I again find missing. Okay. So let me go to notepad again. Okay. Or I can have something like, yeah, directly is blank. So let me have is blank commonly. Okay, so these are all some things that you will learn as you you know enter a lot of formula fields or in validation rule, workflow rule, or if even if you create it as a new formula field, you need to enter some formula in this way. Okay, so the business criteria will be like this. So you can have is blank commonly. Okay, so yeah, and description and this one. Okay. So if at all, if these both are empty, I will have a condition saying please input the price and description info. Okay. So yeah, I have got some other error syntax. Let me do this. So let me go to Salesforce. Okay, I can have something like this. Okay, okay. So let me have this maybe. So okay, let me have this thing first. So yeah, so the condition is if at all, if price is blank and description is blank, both should be blank. Okay, if at all, if both is blank, you need to have some error message saying input the price and description field. Now I'm having it in the top of the field. Okay, so I'm going to save it. So now I'm going to take away the price. Okay, and I'm going to take away the description. So if I have this, I will have message like please input the price and description info. So without which I will not be able to. So if I fill price also, like yeah, you should be able to fill the description. Okay, so it means that you should input the price and description info. Okay, so if at all if these both are blank, then you will have this error message. So if at all if any of the one is blank, so you will not have that message displayed. Okay, so that's the criteria. So again, if I'm going to take the price off, okay, and if I click on save, you will have this thing. Okay, price and description. So I'm going to input like price is 10. I'm going to have something like refund issues. Okay, and I'm going to click on save. Now I got the record saved. So this is called as validation rule. Okay, so you can set it on any object. So I have set it on this validation rule on this object, and you will also be able to edit that validation rule. Okay, you just need to click on this button and click on edit. Okay, so you will have this thing, and then you will have a formula box here where you need to input your formula. This says like if at all if price is blank and also description is blank, then that is this error message should be displayed. Okay, so if at all if you don't fill you don't want price here, and you see, right, because the description is filled but price is not filled. So the condition is both should be empty. Only if both is empty, then this error message should display. So if now I'm going to take off this also. Okay, now you will be getting that error message because even price is empty and description is empty. Okay, so that's the use of this validation tool. So this is not only on account object, you can create on any object. Okay, so you can create on any object in this way. You click on new, then you will be displayed with the rule name that you have to enter and description about that, and also the formula field which you'll be entering. So based on this, this error message will be displayed. So the criteria that you'll set here for this validation rule to fire. Okay, so this is called as validation rule. Okay, so pretty much big companies will be having lot of validation rules in place. Okay, like fill an email ID, or you know you can't enter into this stage with so for example in Swiggy you will be having something like this, right? Like if you wanted to put some coupon on some food, mm, if your bill is too less, they will not let you use that coupon. They'll say like you still need to add 264 rupees worth of food for that coupon for you to use, right? So if you place any order for extra like 264 rupees, only then you will be able to have that coupon applied. Okay. So similar thing, the message that they display, right? So that's going to be the error message that you see here. And the criteria that is like if at all, so imagine the Swiggy, this is criteria itself. Okay, I will have something like price. Okay, so here in account I have something like, so okay, this is asset, but in account I'm going to have something like okay, imagine, yeah, I'm going to have price. Okay, so the price, if at all the price is less than uh 500. Okay, so I want something like this. If at all if the price is less than 500, I wanted some message to be displayed like you need to add worth 500 your bill. Yeah, I can have something uh, total bill. Okay, your total bill must be above 500 uh, in in order to apply this coupon, okay, apply this. In order to apply this coupon, okay. So this is the message that you will be having. If at all, if you you know, if at all, if the price is less than 500, okay. So now I am going to an account record, okay. So I'm going to have something like 200, okay. Now I get this error message, okay. Your total bill must be above 500 in order to apply this coupon. So this how this validation rule works in Salesforce, okay. So even if I click 300, it's still going to have the error message there, okay. So I'm going to have 300 and click on save. I get this one, okay. So I get on 500 also. I'll be able to save, but not for 499, okay. So let me go to one record. Okay. If I'm going to give this, you're still going to have this error. Okay. Only so, which means that anything, because we have given the criteria as if at all if the price is less than 500, which means that anything in between 0 to 499, it's going to have this error message display. Uh, if you fill any value between 0 to 499. So any value above 500, you're going to have this coupon upgrade. So that's how the validation rule works in Salesforce. Okay. So I think you guys can like simply have some exercises about this, okay, on trial head. So validation rules is one of the important thing that you can do, okay, because in others technology or all, they will have to put that inside a code saying that if at all if the value is blank, so they have to type some criteria. If the thing is blank, you need to set. But in Salesforce, by default, you have validation rule. You just need to select the field for which you wanted to have that value. So for example, if at all 2 days is this, you can have something like this. Okay, so that's how you will be able to see something related to this. Okay, like to date is equal to today. So if at all, because in another technology, you need to simply get the field name and you need to type if condition. So you'll have to type the coding basically, okay, for error message to display. But in Salesforce, it's not that way. It's very simple. They have given you this thing where you can select which field you want, and then you can select anything and click on insert. It's going to have this ID automatically fetched. Okay. Meanwhile, this relationship and all in another technology, they will be kind of concerned to form that relationship. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I think just now I'm seeing this message. Okay. So yeah, so this is how you need to do. Okay. So you need to set this thing straight. Okay. So you have this thing here and you will be able to get the relationship in this way. Okay. So yeah. So please make use of this validation rules. Okay. So you can go through trial and exercise and follow the things and earn a badge. Okay. So anything, if you do any exercises, if you do in that thing, you'll be able to kind of get it. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, let me go to the next topic, process builder. Okay. So I'm going back to setup. So yeah. So this is the place which you will find process builder. Okay, so this will be visible in lightning version. Okay, so even if you go to classic version, okay, so you know, right? You guys know, right? Like there are two kinds of versions in Salesforce. One is the classic version and one is the lightning version. So in URL, you will be able to find. So if you have lightning here, this is lightning version, and you should go to this avatar thing. Okay, once you click on this, you will find options here. And if you click switch to classic, okay, Salesforce classic, you will find it in some basic way, right? Like you don't have much user interface, and it is going to be like simple office form. Okay, so once you click on this tab, you will get all the tabs that is displayed. So this is called as classic version. Okay, so this is up to you. So you can have setup, you will have all these things. Okay, it's like setup and object manager. You can type something here itself. Okay, or this is the place where you can find the settings. Okay, so sharing settings, all these things, you'll be able to find it in this place. Okay, so if you wanted to see object manager, so you can simply type like object, yeah, object manager. You'll be able to find it here. Okay, so this classic version, but you guys need to like get used to lighting version, because lighting version is the version which is used by almost all the clients. Okay, so the people who are there for a lot of days. Okay, like since Salesforce was set up, right? So those are the people who follow classic version. Okay, so simply you can go to lightning version to have interactive user interface. Okay, so let me go back to the process builder. Okay, yeah. So process builder. Okay, so this is the place where you will create process builders. Okay, so I already have one process builder in place for account object. Okay, so this condition is going to be like if at all if billing to shipping. Okay, so I have some field called billing to shipping as a checkbox field. Okay, it says that if at all account, the billing to shipping field in account object, if at all if it is true, okay, if this particular record has the value as true, then the thing is like this action will be taking place. Okay, so I wanted shipping city value to be displayed on billing city. So if you go to address, you'll find this thing. Okay, billing city, billing street, billing country. So I want those details to be displayed for shipping details. Okay, so I only have billing address here. So if at all if I wanted to include that inside this page layout, I can include. So that's the goal. Okay, so if at all if any record has this billing to shipping value as uh, this one, okay, check. If at all if it is checked, you need to have shipping values to be populated on billing city and all. Okay, and also if at all if the checkbox is false, then the criteria that I have set in this process builder is you need to update all these values to null. Okay, so you don't want any values to be displayed. So that's the criteria I've selected for this particular process builder. Okay, so